My friends, bienvenue au Jabaal Café, nouveau vlog. Et aujourd'hui, je vais vous parler d'un truc que j'adore faire, c'est parler anglais. Comment j'ai fait pour apprendre l'anglais, comment ça se fait que je parle anglais. Je vais vous expliquer ça dans cette vidéo que je vais essayer de faire courte, mais ça va pas être simple. Avant ça, j'aimerais remercier tous ceux qui ont liké ma page. Merci, tous ceux qui m'ont envoyé plein de messages d'encouragement, des likes, des pouces en l'air dans tous les sens. Franchement, ça m'a fait grave plaisir pendant un jour et demi. Là, j'étais aux anges. Je voyais que les gens répondaient aux vidéos, m'envoyaient des commentaires. Et franchement, ça fait kiffer. J'ai décidé de me lancer et de faire cette chaîne YouTube et voilà, de m'ouvrir et de vous parler. Et ça marche et ça me fait kiffer. Franchement, dans le monde entier, en plus, j'ai reçu des messages. Donc, merci, muchas gracias, thank you endlessly. Et justement pour cette vidéo où est-ce que je vais vous apprendre à, peut-être pas à apprendre l'anglais, mais voilà, je vais vous donner des conseils pour parler anglais, j'ai décidé de la faire en anglais. Ça me donnera l'occasion justement de parler à toutes ces personnes que j'ai rencontrées dans le monde entier lors de mes voyages. Donc à partir de maintenant, practice. We're gonna speak English. And I'm gonna try to subtitle it over here, but I'm not sure because I'm so lazy and I have a lot of things to do these days. But let's do it. Okay, I'll do it, bring it back again. Hello everybody, thank you for being here on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for all your messages. You send me so much love, so much encouragement and comments. Thank you, I really appreciate that, and I love you. Muchas gracias for all my people in America and everywhere I've been before. So this is my tip number one. You have to travel. If you are in France, you have no excuses. You have a passport, you have money. Trust me or not, you have money. Saying, oh, I'm broke, I don't have this, I don't have that. I'm sorry, I don't know what to say about this, but some people would understand. If you're French, you have money, so you have to travel. Go in America, go to London, go to Asia, go to Africa, go to Canada. You have to practice and travel, because when you are in another country, you have no choice but speak English. And you're gonna push yourself, you're gonna try, you're gonna learn new feelings, new expression that you never felt before in French. So that way, new words will come to you and you're gonna use them even when you'll be back in France or in Paris or wherever you're from. So first thing, you have to travel and be interested in other culture, especially in English speaking culture. The other thing I would suggest is, well, it's close to it. It's practice. Are we talking about practice? Yes, that's what we're talking about. Practice. If you are traveling, yes, don't speak English, don't speak French, only English. But if you are in France and you are in Paris, just like me, you have millions of tourists every year. So go out and talk with them, help them. Maybe you can even act like you're not French. It happened to me all the time. Sometimes I step in somewhere and people just say, oh, hey, how are you? And I'm like, oh, they really thought I was not French. So I'm gonna keep up and keep going and speak English. And even if your accent is horrible, just like me, even if your English is not perfect, just like me, your grammar, you making mistakes, no problem, because you don't have to be from America or British or England or whatever. Just people speak English in every country. So maybe you from, I don't know, Japan, but you speak English. Maybe it's a broken English. So use it and speak English. Don't bother about my English is not perfect, it's not this, it's not that. You can even invent words. I do it all the time. Invent words. I take some French words and I turn them in English. Sometimes, most of the time, it's wrong, but people understand what I'm saying. That's the point. It's gotta be fun, and the point is people gotta understand. If they don't understand, yeah, you have to make an extra effort. But if they understand, have fun and speak English. So practice. The first thing I would suggest to you is read in English. I read a lot of books, and all the books are in English. Like I have some here. I like The Power of Now. It's one of my favorite books, and I read it in English. I think, honestly, I never read it in French, really. I have Romeo and Juliet, but one of my favorite book is The Little Prince. I read it in French when I was a kid and maybe a few years ago. But when I was out of the country, I found it in English. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry in English. So read it in English. You can read your favorite books in English because you know the story, you French, blah, blah, blah. We know all that. So read your favorite stuff in English. And the other thing, you can watch movies, but without subtitles, without anything. I know you're gonna say, oh no, I won't understand the story, it's gonna be hard, whatever. Again, watch easy movies, watch movies for kids, watch movies that you already watched so many times. I'm taking the example of Le Magicien d'Oz, because I found it at La Médiathèque. You see, I'm doing it right now, so just go ahead and just say words like that. You don't really care, really. And watch it in English, and because the English is so easy, it's for kids. Hollywood people in movies always over articulate, so it's gonna be very easy for you. If you don't like The Magicien d'Oz, I suggest you to watch Scarface. I watched it a million times in French, in English, and I just love it. So watch your favorite movie in English. The other thing I would suggest before I wrap this up, because it's oh my god, 8 minutes. Fall in love in English. Yes, it's wonderful to fall in love, and when the person you love speaks English or another language, but the only way for you to communicate is English, besides the language of love, it's gonna push you, it's gonna help you, and trust me, you're gonna learn very fast, very fast. I'm saying English, but it can be any other language. You know, some people, when they fall in love in another country or from, you know, somebody else, they learn very fast the language. So you want to speak English, you want to learn English, find yourself somebody who speaks English, and just talk with them. Eventually you will fall in love with them, and trust me, you're gonna learn English very fast, because you will want to communicate with them. And the power of love, do I have to talk about it? No, maybe in another video. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Je vais reprendre le français parce que déjà, tu vois, j'ai mal à la tête déjà juste en 5 minutes. Likez si vous avez kiffé, si je vous ai apporté des conseils. Encore une fois, ces conseils sont gratuits. C'est gratuit. Vous n'avez même pas besoin d'acheter des trucs, de prendre des cours. Commencez avec ce que vous avez. Franchement, dans la vie, c'est super simple. Commencez avec ce que vous avez. Et voilà. Donc encore une fois, merci d'avoir regardé cette vidéo, merci de liker, de partager, de commenter. Je suis là, je vous vois grâce à YouTube et Facebook. Il y a plein de manières pour savoir qui a cliqué, qui a été atteint, machin, bluff. Donc je vous vois et merci à vous, même si putain il y a des gens à qui j'ai pas parlé depuis des années. Ils m'ont envoyé des messages, ils m'ont liké. Vous savez qui je suis, je sais qui vous êtes, donc on est juste des êtres humains. Merci pour cette vidéo et je vous dis à la prochaine fois. De quoi je vais parler? Je sais pas encore, mais je vais la poster très bientôt. Merci, ciao.